I look like shit. Okay, this is a good story. This is a good and true story. It's a little more adult oriented than I care for it to be because I'm getting lame in my old age, but it's pretty good. So, I hope I didn't tell this one before. I'm gonna have to check the archives. I dated a girl named Michelle once, and this is in the beginning a story of opposites attract. We couldn't have been more different. The only thing we had in common was the fact that we were both human beings, but we were really, really tremendously different. And but we fought a lot. I mean, we fought a ton, and then we had a ton of makeup sex, and we fought some more. We dated on and off for 12 years, maybe 14 years, 3 different times. The first time I lived with her, the second time she lived with me, and so on and so forth. So, Michelle, during the first round of our relationship, was a real martinet. She was just finishing up her medical experience and getting her PA to be a physician's assistant and licensed. And she didn't smoke. She was against pretty much drinking. She would have the occasional glass of wine. On the other hand, was going to shampoo and dropping a lot of E behind her back, or just wasn't coming forward with it all the time. So, again, opposites attract. Anyway, when it came to sex, I mean, she wouldn't wear, like, she would watch and read too many things that would, she was kind of crunchy, kind of like, she wouldn't wear too much deodorant because she felt that application time after time would cause cellular change, and that cellular change would cause cancer possibly, and so on and so forth. And so you get the idea where I'm going. Well, when it came to sex, when we did have sex, which of course I always wanted it, much more than she, it was always in one position. I mean, I felt like we were just Amish folk, but I was just happy to take what I was getting because I guess I was in my late 20s and I had not had sex since my first girlfriend, which was about 12 years before. So I'm coming out of a 12-year drought. I'll take whatever. But pressing for more all the while. So anyway, if you wanted to kiss her on Friday, you had to fill out like the requisite paperwork on Monday, have it submitted by Tuesday morning. If she approved it would come back with all these revisions and markups. You usually have to boil yourself 48 hours in advance. No tongue. Just a ton of provisos that were mostly annoying, okay? So the second time we got together a few years later, and she was living at my place, this little bungalow. It wasn't even a real house. I used to call it a bungalow, a little rancher in Phoenixville. She was much more laid back. She was smoking cigarettes now, drinking a little more wine. Great, let's get this party started. So one night I decided to surprise her on the way home, and I stopped at the local sex shop, which is a funny story in itself. But anyway, I go there and I walk in, really cocky, and there's this pretty good-looking girl working there, and nobody else is in the shop. And I just immediately turn to jelly, and this girl comes up to me and says, "Sales clerk," it says, "Can I help you?" And I'm like, and she's like, "Huh?" I'm like, "I'm looking for something for my girlfriend, preferably battery-powered." And she goes, "Okay. Mm-hmm. Is she looking for internal or external stimulation?" And that question I remember verbatim, as I do my answer, which was, "I think all three." And she goes, "Okay, come over here." She said, "Look, this is the Pocket Rocket. It's very small, takes one little battery. No woman should be without it." She did say that. If it's easily into anybody's, her purse or handbag and da-da-da. I'm like, okay, good, I'll take it. So I, run out to my car, because that's what you do if you're uncomfortable. You get to these porn shops and you just kind of look around and then you dash to your car, the store, and then in and out, which isn't at all, suspect looking. So I turn the thing on, and it's like whirring like crazy. Right? It's like that big. It takes one little AA battery, and it's, there's 3 little heads on the top of this thing if you're doing the top-down view. And I mean, dude, there's like birds honing in over me. Drones that were diverted from their flight paths are starting to follow me home. And I'm like, man, this is crazy. So I get it home. I show her. She's not impressed. Didn't even want to look at it. Didn't want to know about it. Didn't want to know how to use it. A couple of weeks later, we had our, once a week sex deal, and she asked about it, and I said it was in the room, and that was it. She didn't want to have anything else to do with it. The third time, she asked to see it and hold it. The fourth time, I think she tried it, but did not like it. So I guess the fifth time or the sixth time was the charm. She was not multi-orgasmic. She could, do her thing once, and that was pretty good, I guess, and it would take her a long time to reload. So she asked to see it after we had sex this one night. And I said, after we made sweet love. And I said, yeah, sure, here it is. I said, look, I'm going to put my pants on and go watch some Belvedere ones, Mr. Belvedere. I think that's what it was. And so I shut the door to my bedroom to give her some privacy, and I'm sitting in the captain's chair wishing I had a ham sandwich and some chips. And I hear the muffled sounds behind my bedroom door of this, and I'm like, okay, she's turned it on. And then for about the next half hour to 40 minutes, it's just, this crescendoing human, fulfilling sounds of the vicissitudes of sexual carnal pleasure, the ups and downs, this quaking and curling and just all kinds of stuff. And so I get up and I storm into the room. I do a kind of a knock and I go in and I open the door and she's sitting on the edge of my bed with her shoulders slumped, looking like she needs to quaff about 1.5 gallons of Gatorade, exasperated, breathing heavily. She's out of breath. And she goes, this thing is great. I just gave myself like 5 orgasms. So I took it immediately back from her and hid it. I didn't destroy it or get rid of it, but I hid it. And I'll tell you what. This is kind of the point of the story, guys. Is watch what you do. Those little suckers will put you out of a job. So just when you're thinking you're cocky and confident, watch what you do. All right. Hopefully this should be good enough. Hope you like it.